Akaash Singh thinks we're in the biggest censorship push of our times. I think we've been pretty staunchly in favor of free speech, wanting to watch right-wing people become left-wing people. No, Aksha, this has always been the fucking goddamn right. They have always been significantly more censorious than the fucking left. Like, this is the right. This is just how they operate, how they act. They have always been incredibly fucking censorious. Like, again, the only instances of fucking censorship that left, generally speaking, was pushing for was censorship of people like Alex Jones, people like Nick Fuentes, people who push harmful rhetoric and ideas that are just wholeheartedly incongruent, incompatible with society. And that also violated the TOSs of the social media platforms that they were on. Like, again, was the left responsible for the canceling of Nick Fuentes, or was Nick Fuentes responsible for the canceling of Nick Fuentes for, well, being Nick Fuentes? I mean, that's up for you to decide, of course, Aksha. But again, it's the right has always been inherently censorious. It has always been a broader principle that they had, generally speaking. It's not. This isn't a left or a right wing fucking thing. This is just the right. They have always been fucking incredibly fucking censorious. Oh, Akaash, or whatever. I'm racist. I don't care. Fuck you.
So this seems like a big attack on free speech, and yeah, I think we've been pretty staunchly.
Also, this is in reference to fucking this is in reference to Jimmy Kimmel, right? This is why they're saying this stuff. Because again, they're comedians, quote unquote. So there's like, oh fuck, wait a minute. We're starting to say a lot more like anti-Trump stuff. Because again, when it comes to like podcast bros like Akaash, there's no actual principle behind any of this. They just want to do their fucking podcast hangout bro time. And they just want to just be like, shoot the shit. And be honest, even though it's just like, oh fuck, wait a minute. The leopards are now going to start to eat our face. We never anticipated the leopards were going to start to eat our face. Oh no, not the leopards eating our face when we clearly supported the party that was all about the leopards eating faces. Ah, shucks. So I don't know. I don't have like a lot of sympathy for these like podcast bro types who knowingly platformed, pushed for, and advocated for conservatives and conservative fucking positions. When it's just like, dog, it's very clear what they're all about, and they're just like, what? I can't see what's going on. I have no idea what the fuck's happening. God, I have no idea. So it's just like, spare me it, dude. Like, this is always, like, if you do, like, even a modicum of research, just a tiny little bit of research, you just look into this just a tiny little bit, you would know immediately that this is what the right wing has always been about. So, whatever.
In favor of free speech, and it is funny to watch right-wing people just become left-wing people. Because I said something about how you're a snowflake if you think you should be. If you agree with this, that's some snowflake shit, and somebody was like, you clearly don't even know what the First Amendment means. And that's exactly what left-wing people used to tell me. Yeah. Freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom from consequences. Right. So y'all just switched. Yeah. Now, again, this has nothing to do with what happened to Charlie Kirk. That's a fucking horrendous thing. Let's get that out of the way. But
the problem is that the right never had any principles about free speech anyways. They never did. Again, a lot of the people that left-wingers generally pushed for to have censored, deplatformed, gotten rid of are people like Nick Fuentes and other far-right people who are just wholeheartedly incongruent and incompatible with society. Like, you can't have rapport with people like this. You just can't.
In terms of censorship, freedom of speech is more under attack now, honestly, than I think it has ever been. I don't know if that's me being hyperbolic.
Maybe. I mean, as far as what Jimmy said, I think it's untrue, or at least unfair.
I don't agree with what he said. I don't like what he said. We should also say that. I don't agree with what he said. I don't like what he said. He should be allowed to say it, and what happened to Charlie Kirk is worse. Charlie Kirk should have been allowed to say the things we didn't like.
Again, the only thing that fucking Jimmy Kimmel said, by the way, that these these fucking idiots are leaving out is the fact that Trump didn't seem to really care about the fact that his supposed friend died, which is an accurate fucking statement. That's literally all that he fucking said. And you had like every fucking conservative, seemingly under the sun, and come out of the woodwork and just have a complete fucking screed and just out and fucking like spasm out, talk about like, no, you can't say that. You are literally advocating for the worst thing possible. You're worse than Hitler. You're like literally advocating for the death of a good man. And it's just like, okay, dog, calm down, relax. He's not like literal fucking Jesus. And all that Jimmy Kimmel did was just play a fucking clip. It wasn't edited in any way. That was the actual fucking clip that he just like pulled raw. Like, fuck out of here with this bullshit. Like, calm down. Jesus Christ.
Jimmy Kimmel should be allowed to say the things we didn't like. That's just what America is.
Yeah.
And freedom of speech, I've seen it truly under attack in India, where it's like you can go to jail. This is closer to that than I think what the left was doing.
Yeah.
Which is like the FCC putting, as much as we didn't like left-wing shit, like far left policy, or far left whatever, thoughts, it wasn't like Joe Biden was putting pressure on somebody to get canceled for saying retard. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what makes this different and scarier to me and closer to what India has. Then that's what makes it an actual attack on free speech.
Dude, the only reason why these... yeah, he is correct about India. I don't disagree with what he's saying about India. The problem is like the only guiding principle these motherfuckers have is that they just want to say fucking retard and shit. Like, that's it. Like, fuck, we just want to say slurs and not have any consequences for saying those slurs, even though we have been consistently told about the history behind those slurs and why it is wrong to say those slurs. But, man, it feels good to say retard, guys. So it's just like, a dog, like, I don't know, fucking spare me it, man. Like, I don't really give much of a shit about any of this fucking stuff, man. Like, a lot of the motherfuckers who bitch, moan, cry, and complain about this stuff, there's, like, no fucking guiding principle about fucking free speech with these people. Because they decided to throw their hats in with the right, who have never fucking cared about free speech. Like, literally, that dumbass fucking pine sap himself said, like, yeah, we just want to use free speech as a way to get power and then just pull the ladder from up under everybody else and just say, no more free speech, no more rights for anyone, fuck you, go fuck yourselves. It's like, dog, this is the right. This has always been the right. Like, this is just what their whole political project has been since day one.
Yep.
So, I don't know, like, we also have the big man himself here. We got fucking Andrew Schulz also talking about this. Again, it's time for the Eternal Fell For It Again award to be given to, like, stupid, like, Roganite, acolyte podcast bros.
Hello, everybody. Now, before we begin, let me just address this horrible ponytail. It is for a movie I'm filming. I've been called many things. Chris Anal, Sri Lankan short order cook. I look like I should be tying a woman to the train tracks. These are offensive. They hurt my feelings. But you should be allowed to say them. And that gets into this conversation. Last week, Charlie Kirk's tragic death exposed that our political values have eroded faster than cash Patel's interest in the Epstein list. The discourse between right and left is officially just beat the other side, even if it means becoming exactly what you hate. And started with the left's reaction to Charlie's assassination. Surely people on the left have constantly been reminding us of the dangers of fascism. Surely they would condemn the assassination of a political opponent. No, many of them celebrated, like Charlie Sheen on World AIDS Day. And that's just about as fascist as Putin's pierogies, which is not only food, it's what he calls his housekeepers. Now, I've heard people say, well, technically...
Well, I mean, why is this already a fucking dumbass fucking point? Dude, like, literally, if we want to talk about who basically gave the permission structure to have this rhetoric be in place, it was fucking Charlie Kirk. It's been conservatives. It's always been fucking conservatives. Conservatives, again, are consistently allowed and are always permitted to just raise the fucking temperature in terms of rhetoric, in terms of violence every single time. But one tiny little pushback by the fucking left and all of a sudden, it's the end of the fucking world. So, I don't know, like, spare me it. Of course they're Alex. Yeah, smart enough to know the difference between the public pressure and the FCC. That's like 50 IQ points over typical right-winger. That's true.
That's not fascism because the government didn't assassinate the political opponent. Wow, nuance. I'm glad the people that called Sydney Sweeney a Nazi for wearing jeans learned what that is. Now, for the record, just because her bra size is SS doesn't mean she's Goebbels. Now, it wasn't just the left, the right, the party that...
Okay, who the fuck cares about Sydney fucking Sweeney, dude? Like, again, like... here's the thing with Sydney Sweeney. A lot of the same stuff in terms of, like, pandering to the male gaze archetype person or whatever the fuck type shit. Like, you can also say the same shit about, like, Sabrina Carpenter. She does the exact same type beat. But I bet, like, no one ever fucking talks about Sabrina Carpenter. Like, whatever.
Ended cancel culture, the party that is keeping free speech alive. Surely they maintain their values in the face of tragedy? No, they folded faster than a pair of Peter Dinklage's dungarees. Jimmy Kimmel, who, for anyone under 50, is a late-night TV host. And for anyone under 40, late-night TV is how the pharmaceutical industry gets your uncle hooked on opioids. And for anyone under 30, TV is like TikTok, but your phone is sideways and not controlled by Bamboo Babe Ruth. Anyway, Jimmy's show was taken off the air because he allegedly made a joke about Charlie. I watched the segment. You watched the segment. He did not make a joke about Charlie at all. The joke was about Trump and one of his reactions to Charlie's death, which was ridiculous. He started talking about White House renovations, which, if he hadn't kicked out all the Mexicans, would have been done by now. Now, I will say, Jimmy did spread misinformation about Charlie's killer, saying that he was right-wing.
I'll give Andrew Schulz that one. That is funny. That's good. The Mexican bit, that's funny.
Been done by now. Now, I will say, Jimmy did spread misinformation about Charlie's killer, saying that he was right-wing. I don't know how right-wing you can be if your girlfriend has a cock. We'll have to ask Lindsey Graham about that. Rumor is he likes devouring a devious bull-nosed...
Okay, first off, no evidence that... there is no fucking evidence to say that Tyler Robinson is on the right or on the left. like I said, he is fucking apolitical. Everyone has been saying that he is fucking apolitical. That's not fucking misinformation that Jimmy Kimmel is fucking spreading. He made an assumption in saying that Tyler Robinson was right-wing because his family was Christian, his family's conservative, his family is also very heavy into gun culture, and he himself was also very, very heavy into gun culture. So you can make the assumption that this guy might be a right-winger. You know, you can make that fucking assumption. It's an incorrect assumption. I've talked about before how it is an incorrect assumption. It is false to say that Tyler Robinson is on any part of the fucking political spectrum. And yeah, exactly. Like, he didn't say, Jimmy Kimmel did not say that the shooter was right-wing. He said MAGA wants it so bad for the shooter to be left-wing. Again, like, hey, Andrew Schulz, why are we spreading fucking misinformation? But then again, like, literally every fucking conservative has been spreading so much fucking misinformation and just complete nonsense about this fucking bit. So it's just like, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's just like, fucking spare me at conservatives.
Cock. Now, in all seriousness, I'm pretty sure the only thing leaning to the right in that relationship was his girlfriend's big salty cock. But furthermore, if spreading misinformation is worthy of cancellation, then just get rid of the internet right now. Personally, I think it's a violation of free speech and incredibly corny to hire a comedian and fire.
Oh, also, real quick, yeah, no evidence to say that the fucking Tyler Robinson's goddamn girlfriend is like trans or anything. Like, there's like nothing to say that. The only evidence was based off of a fucking TMZ fucking headline.
Them for jokes no matter which side of the aisle those jokes land on. There's always going to be someone offended by a joke. Half the population is female. And if you got offended by that, you're proving my point. If we set a precedent that we silence comedians when people are offended, there will be no comedy at all, and my feet are not nice enough to start an OnlyFans. But let's say that you disagree. ABC is a private company. They should be able to hire and fire as they choose. I've heard people say freedom of speech isn't freedom of consequence, and that is fair. But is ABC simply firing an employee over a joke they didn't like? Or is it Trump's FCC chair, Brendan Carr, going on a podcast the next day saying Jimmy Kimmel should be punished and saying we can do this the easy way or the hard way, which is what Tyler Robinson's girlfriend said on their first date when she whipped out that vindictive, conniving cock with salt all over Himalayan? Well, you know what happened immediately after?
You know, all the 3 IQ fucking trans bullshit. And I'm very curious to see that, because this is about corporate capitulation, right? That's because ABC is deciding to capitulate to the Trump administration then, because they're still trying to go ahead with their fucking merger with Skydance fucking media, obviously, and they want to try to make sure that they stay on Trump's good side, so there's not too many problems for them when the merger actually tries to go through, right? Of course. So that's the actual problem here. It's the fact that corporations, if given the opportunity, will always capitulate in the face of any form of adversity if it means they get to make an additional fucking buck.
Nexstar, one of the largest affiliate owners in the country, meaning they broadcast Jimmy Kimmel's show, they pulled Kimmel from all their broadcasts. Now, do you think they did that because they were offended by the joke, or because they had a $6.2 billion merger they need approved by the FCC?
Yeah, that's a good point there, Alex. Yeah, I wonder why Andrew Schulz seems to really talk about fucking cock taste. I don't know. Maybe he's a big fan of the gawk as well. I don't know.
If they did it for that merger, that is the definition of government influence silencing of speech. And now all these staunch free speech advocates are doing mental gymnastics to get around the fact that they're okay with government influence silencing of speech as long as it's for their opposition. You want to know who wouldn't be okay with that? Charlie Kirk. Love him or hate him, Charlie gave a microphone to his political opponents, asked audiences to treat them with respect. He quite literally amplified the voices of those he disagreed with. How do you think he would feel about his tragic death being used to silence political opposition? Honestly, do you think that he would advocate for canceling Jimmy? There's no way.
Yes, he would. And he has. He has not had any problems at all with left-leaning liberal sort of comedians and late-night talk show hosts being canceled by the administration. Yes, because he is a stooge. He is a stooge for the Trump administration. Like, again, like, the only reason, because there's no principle guiding behind any of this stuff, from Andrew Schulz in particular, Charlie Kirk would have had no problem going after political opponents. He has no problems at all consistently going after fucking political opponents, and has gone after fucking political opponents trying to fucking shut down their speech. Yeah, he has no fucking problems with that whatsoever. Yeah, no, this is not inconsistent with anything whatsoever. So, I don't know, like, again, the only reason, because he is technically correct, but he is correct for all of the wrong reasons. Yes, of course. The conservatives have always been heavily censorious. Yes, they are being incredibly fucking hypocritical. But then again, the left doesn't just randomly fucking censor people because they find them to be fucking meanie bobini McFeenies. They fucking did it because a lot of the people that ended up getting fucking censored and deplatformed should have been fucking censored and fucking deplatformed. With the examples that I bring up, people like Nick Fuentes, people like conservatives on social media who always violate the TOS, and then the fucking goddamn social media companies have to do everything possible to bend over backwards to be able to accommodate for those fucking conservatives, because if they don't fucking do everything in order to accommodate for those fucking dumbass conservatives, then they're just gonna have a complete schizophrenic screed and be like really dumb and fucking annoying about it. So again, like, spare me it. Like, honestly, like, just, like, fucking spare me it. There's no fucking guiding principle behind any of this stuff. There's, like, nothing to say at all that this is about, like, free speech or whatever. Like, conservatives have never given a shit about that, like, on principle. They have never cared about this. So, like, I don't know, like, spare me it. Like, to be honest, Andrew Schulz, like, you're dealing with a party, with a political aisle that has fundamentally, as first order principle, never cared about free speech, and will use free speech as a cudgel in order to browbeat their fucking opponents, sort of politically and culturally, try to take the side of free speech, and that every instance and every turn try to take that away. But the problem is that you guys are having a problem with what's going on right now with Jimmy Kimmel, because they might come after you, and it might bite you in the ass now that you're deciding to speak out more and more against a lot of Trump's fucking positions. So again, none of this is coming out of fucking principle. Like, let's be fucking honest here. No cap, you know. There was never any guiding principle behind any of this. These people are just trying to look out for their own asses. That is it. So again, like I've said before, when it comes to free speech, there has only been one side of the aisle who has been consistently for fucking free speech, and that has always been the left fucking aisle. Always, consistently, this has always been the fucking case. And spare me it, conservatives, you guys are now starting to see the actions and the consequences of advocating for and believing in the side of the political aisle that has never fundamentally been interested in fucking free speech whatsoever under every fucking circumstance. So again, like, spare me it. Like, I don't really care about any of this stuff. Like, you guys are getting your fucking faces eaten right now by the fucking leopards, despite the fact that you guys advocated for, well, that particular party that said very clearly what it was always all about: eating your fucking face. And now you're afraid that your face might get eaten.